Hey y'all, it's Josh. We put together an awesome video that we took this week. I had the unique opportunity to go down and talk to a bunch of students at a college, and it's like a dual enrollment school where these high school students can take vocational classes, and the particular one I went to is obviously the welding class. They got a state-of-the-art facility. I got to go in there and try to give them motivation, the students, and just to give them my journey path and where my welding career has taken me. Just try to give them that little kick in the butt to get excited and chase this career. Either way, here's the video. I'm gonna do my Jesse Waters move. Showtime. Hey y'all, it's Josh Chamberlain with Chamberlain's Portable Welding. I've made a trip down to Ringo, Georgia. We are at a dual enrollment school where these high school kids can take a career trade class to further their college career, or once they turn 18 and graduate, they can hit the field and start making some real money. What I got with me today is Mr. Alex. He's a welding instructor, and we're going to give you an awesome tour of his classroom. You want to introduce yourself or say what?
I'm Mr. Driscoll. I'm the welding instructor here at the College and Career Academy. Been teaching welding for 4 years. Started out at a local high school down the street, and then our county decided to invest in career tech education, and they built this beautiful facility where I get to come and work every day and try to help kids build a bright future in the welding trades. So I love it and look forward to showing you the lab.
This is definitely a state-of-the-art lab. I don't think most adult college welding programs are set up like this, and it's definitely a beautiful lab and something a true professional would admire. So here's the welding shop tour. I'm just going to let Alex take over, and I'll just ask some questions here or there. So other than that, man of the hour.
All right. So here in our lab we have 25 booths. 22 of them are weld booths. 3 of them are grinding and downdraft booths. In each welding booth we have the Lincoln 300C Advance. So it's a multi-process machine that we can do MIG, stick, TIG, and flux core. In this pathway, they get certificates for each process, along with a blueprint class. They learn how to oxy fuel cut, plasma cut. We do a lot of fabrication. But everybody has their own booth. Everybody has their own tools that we provide. Weld table, do different positions, fume extraction. We use Milwaukee battery powered equipment, so everything's readily available. All of our booths are piped in with our welding gas. We don't have to worry about individual cylinders. So we have C20.
Good. Mm-hmm. So this is their bottle setup. As you can see, I'm gonna let Alex explain the way all this stuff is plumbed in to run the welding shop's amazing. There's a lot of thought behind this whole setup.
So for our welding gas, instead of having individual cylinders on our welders, we actually have them piped in through a manifold system. So we have piped in C25, C10, and 100% argon. Each set has 8 bottles. We run 4 at a time. So I run 4 bottles through the system. Once it gets low, I can swap it over to the full set, and I can go ahead and get my gas ordered. That way I never run out. It makes it a lot easier and more time saving, because I don't have to worry about having 22 cylinders to swap out. If we're running short circuit MIG welding, running 75-25 gas, and someone wants to do some pulse welding or some spray arc, we don't have to worry about switching out a cylinder to C10. We can just, they have quick connects inside the booth. It's all piped in, and you ain't got to worry about running out of gas, and this makes our day a lot easier, and pretty neat setup.
Yeah, the way they got it set up, and we showed it in the early part of this video, is like you just mentioned, each booth has 3 quick connects, and one's for the 100%, 75-25, and then 90% argon. And everything's in the booth. So it's pretty neat. If they run out of 100% argon on this circuit, he just shuts this valve off, opens this valve. He's got 4 bottles. Then his gas supplier comes out here and yanks these off, so it never shuts down the show. It's always work going on. This is a really thought out, good plan. And this stuff right here is what a true professional really likes to see.
5 C10 and argon for short circuit MIG welding to pulse welding, spray arc, and TIG welding. So, pretty cool.
All right. one thing I was wanting to show, and I use this process a lot and almost every day, because I'm either cutting plates off or I'm cutting cracks out, vice versa. This is an actual art gouging booth, so the kids get to experience how to use an art gouger and be prepared for it whenever they have to do it on the job. Yeah. And everything's ventilated. And the way they got their argon bottles set up, we'll show that at the end. It's a masterpiece. Like I said, I'm tickled to death with this shop.
It's pretty cool.
So we'll go to the next phase here.
Our fabrication area, so we use strong hand tables. So the goal in this is not just to get kids in a booth welding. I want to give them as much experience as possible so when they go out on the job or further their education, they got some fabrication experience. So we should try to expose them to some of the tools that they might run into, how to lay out stuff, like I said, the oxy-fuel cut, plasma cut, weld. So it's not just about welding coupons, passing weld tests. You actually got to know how to read a blueprint, put stuff together, make it look square, clean, learn how to take pride in your work.
So one really cool machine, I've never seen one in person, just only on YouTube, is a robotic welder. I highly doubt there's any high school dual enrollment welding class in the country that has one of these. Do you know of any? I don't know. This right here is a really expensive tool, but it's state of the art. This is going to be the future for manufacturing work.
Yeah, so here with our cobot, this is something that I have a robotics background from whenever I was at Road Tech, and it's something that the industry is moving towards. So used to, companies would have to spend millions of dollars on these full weld cells, and now collaborative robots give you the ability to teach and train students and young individuals on how to program a robot by just dragging it to where you want, setting up your weld parameters, and it makes a lot of small parts go by really easy. It kind of helps pick up where someone might call out and you've got parts programmed for that. You can pull up a cobot, you can roll it around, plug it up. It's a really cool machine, and we use this here to hopefully let companies try out and see if they have any, see if it's a fit for their company, and also give our students an opportunity if they want to get into robotics. We have a pipeline for them to at least get exposed to it and just put that notch in their belt. Over here, we're welders, not machinists, but we have a mill to help kind of speed things up, milling off backing plates. We can mill bevels in our weld coupons, but also we can teach them some basic fundamentals of machining and how to use a mill. And it's a really useful tool, even for a welder. It makes our lives a lot easier. It makes things really, really clean.
Yeah, there's a lot of technology in this shop that can really get a young person on their feet and really take off and be prepared. So some of the equipment we have that we like to use to get students exposed to, we have our vertical band saws, but we also have plate rollers and CNC brake press, because again, for fabrication, these are all things that they could very well end up doing. A lot of times you don't just go to a weld shop and weld all day. A lot of times you're going to have to build stuff, use different equipment. So we want to, again, try to get them experience, try to get them at least the exposure, so when they get on that job, they know what they're working with. It makes training for the employers a lot easier. And in the end, it makes the student a more valuable employee. They do, it's in the classroom. He does have the
yeah, so we do utilize virtual weld simulators for our first year students from Lincoln, the Lincoln Vertex 360. That's a great tool for someone who doesn't know what an arc looks like. They're not really familiar with the weld process. It helps save a lot of time on training. It kind of takes out that fear of getting burnt and all the mechanics that go into welding. They can see it in the classroom on the simulator. They can try it out. So that way when they get into a booth with a live arc, they know kind of what to expect and what they should be doing. And it saves money on material, gas, consumables, and in the end we just get quicker training for the students once they get out to the lab.
So it saves, on me, being a business owner, all I can see is the amount of money that you can save in wasted supplies teaching somebody the aspects of welding. So, here. Explain this real quick. One day when I build me a shop, I want to have something similar to this, but a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. But these right here are super handy.
Yeah, so this is a CNC brake press. So this is used to bend metal, something as simple as shelf brackets. You can do more intricate cuts. Again, these are very popular in welding and fabrication. So again, going back to trying to get these students to be as well-rounded as possible, have that knowledge. You know, they're going to come out of here and be exposed to this stuff and make it easier to train. And it just kind of takes our program to the next level on the projects we can do and what we have capable, which we're all about community projects, giving back, building what we can.
And then anybody that remotely watches this line of work already knows what this is.
Yeah, this is our plasma table, so we use this a lot. Cutting out final projects, small fabrication parts, signs, fire pits, grill pieces, you know, whatever, your imagination. Again, this is not something every student teaches. We don't teach a class on this, but if a student's excelling in their welding program and they're got all their stuff caught up and they want to, you know, they show an interest in CNC plasma cutting, we can show them how to do that, show them the fundamentals of how the program works. They learn how to plasma cut, so putting those two together, again, something they could very well run into in industry, and having that exposure would be very beneficial.
So do you get to keep the kids for 4 years?
Yeah, for 2 years. So in this program, I get juniors and seniors from 3 of our local high schools. I have 22 spots available. So these classes are dual enrolled, so they come here half a day from their base schools, and they earn college credit through our local technical college, Georgia Northwestern, and they get those weld certificates, and they're getting high school credit as well.
So, but like the kids that come through this program, are you opening up a pipeline with other vendors or businesses?
Absolutely, yeah. So
if they excel here and meet your expectations, and they can potentially have a really good starting pay job as soon as they graduate high school.
Yeah, our mission here at the College and Career Academy is to provide a premier workforce for Georgia. So we have business partners that help keep this place running and also have jobs available. So we always explore the interest of the students, see what type of welding they want to get into, kind of what they want to take their welding career to, and then we find an employer that's looking for that. We pair them up, and again, coming from this program, we're an exceptional program, and we want to try to be at the top of that list so they can get those jobs, and in the long run, you know, work there, turn into managers, supervisors, engineers if they want to, continue their career. It's all about building that premier workforce.
Well, I think 2 questions, and I'll quit bugging you. Me being a parent, I got a 16-year-old daughter, a 7-year-old daughter, and I got a son on the way. And I know how hard it is to try to work with a younger person and explain stuff to them and try to get them to do stuff the correct way. So what is your favorite thing about being a welding instructor, and what is one of the headaches of being a welding instructor?
Okay. The thing I absolutely love about being a welding instructor is just that bond with students. I'm a dad myself. I have a 6 and an 8-year-old. When I got into teaching, it wasn't a plan. When I came from industry, I wasn't necessarily looking to get into teaching, so my welding instructor from high school was a mentor of mine. It's a father figure, and 10 years later, when he asked me to take the reins at the shop where I grew up at in high school, I really couldn't say no, because it gave me an opportunity to be that same mentor for those kids. But the relationship I have with these guys and girls, being juniors and seniors, with me being younger, 31, there's not a huge gap between our age, so I feel like I can relate with them a little bit more. We love to cut up and have fun, and it just helps them, want to do better and be better and have that respect, because I'm not just telling them what to do. I'm relating with them and showing them what to do, and we just have an awesome relationship. The biggest headache, I would say, is that part of coming from industry. Things to me that come really simple, I have to remind myself that these are students. They're in high school. Their quality and attention's not going to be like what I expect of myself or someone who's been in industry, a professional. So, just remembering that, when they're struggling with something very simple, I always have to just remind myself that to me it's simple, to them it's something new, and they'll get the hang of it.
Well, I think that's probably the end of the tour. Like I said, this is Alex, and we've made friends through a mutual friend. It's kind of funny how that connection worked out. He ended up finding me on TikTok one weekend. He's with a mutual friend of ours, and he asked our mutual friend about, hey, have you seen this guy? And this guy was the best man in my wedding. He's like, man, I know that guy. So that's how me and Alex has got connected. I ask him welding questions all the time. He's got all the certs, I'm like, hey, can you explain this to me? So he's been a big help to me. I want to get him out on the road with me on a couple of jobs, and I just hate for him to check my welds. He'll probably fail a couple of my welding jobs that I do. But other than that, we hope you like the tour. To me, vocational classes in high school is a must. I think that's the direction our country needs to take versus saying, hey, you need to go spend 4 or 8 years in a college to get a degree, and half the people that does that don't even follow that path once they get out of college. So if you can get you a trade before you're 18, at least learn the basics, you can start making good money as soon as you're out of school. There's so many apprenticeship programs for construction fields, the diesel mechanical world, dealership, like where I come from, Caterpillar. All these big places are offering apprenticeship programs for 18-year-old kids just getting out of high school. And you can take that career as high as you want to go. So we appreciate you watching, and I hope y'all have a blessed weekend.